light painting a black car is one of the hardest things you can try in automotive photography. Everything disappears, every mistake shows up, and the one bad pass of the light will wreck the whole thing. So in post, it just becomes a nightmare. Now tonight, I'm not just shooting this mini, I'm testing a new or old technique that I used to do that I just forgot about. So I'm going to try that out. Now there's no studio, there's no crew, it's just me in a public car park all by myself, one car, one light, and I'm going to show you how I shoot paid automotive work in these conditions. So I'm going to walk you through my normal light painting setup, why it works and where I think most people go wrong. Then halfway through I'm going to swap and I'm going to put in a diffuser. Now that's the technique I used to use, and I'll put a picture up now of some cars I've done with it, and it just softens up the light that I use. And yeah, we're going to pop that in and I'm going to show you what changes, why it looks different, and we're going to start comparing things basically. Black paint is incredibly unforgiving, especially when it comes to light painting. Every single streak, every bit of dirt, kind of everything, just it can go really wrong really quickly. And you know, black paint is very sensitive to the angle you put the light on, you know, everything. So you've got to be very careful with what you do. Now most people mess up in three ways in my opinion. They either stand too close and they just create this horrible streak on the panel that is even harder to fix afterwards. Two, they move at the wrong angle, maybe go around the car a little bit too fast, set too short of a shutter. You know, there's different rules when it comes to shooting black cars at night. And number three, I feel like even light sometimes doesn't work because different parts of the cars need a different amount of light to make it stand out evenly in the image. Now this may sound weird, but you'll see what I mean afterwards. Black cars don't really need even, they need contrast, and they need a bit more focused lighting and a bit more of a plan going in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get the camera set up. So when I'm setting this up, I'm looking at things like composure, lighting, the general angle I've got everything at, color temperature, you know, the usual stuff when you're setting up. So right now, where are we at? Let's sort this out. So drop my ISO down to 100. I'm going to start with a 30-second exposure, and I'm going to go at what am I going to go at? I'm going to start f8, because that way then I get everything in focus, and that'll just be that'll give us a good base to start off with. And what I like to do is set a self timer to 2 seconds. So that way then when I touch the screen, there's 2 seconds to avoid any shake from happening. So that's now going to shoot a 30-second exposure. While it's doing that, I'm just going to give you a quick run through the gear we're using tonight. We're going to use a Canon R6, which this is my main camera body, and my Sigma 28mm f1.4. Lens camera setup is spot on for everything that I do, and I haven't felt the need to change it since. We're on a K&F tripod, very sturdy tripod. I think it's an old K&F model. I've had it for a while, but yeah, very sturdy tripod. And for the light, I don't use what normal people use for photography lights. I use this. This is an LED work light that I got from Tool Station. This is the second one I've had, and it seems to work quite well for everything I wanted to do. Now, I will upgrade to a proper photography light soon, but right now this has been doing the trick for me perfectly for the last 5 years. And yeah, I've had no need to change yet. I've got separate RGB lights for when I want to use RGB, and yeah, I've got those things. But yeah, we'll move on to a proper photography light soon. But I'm going to move the camera angle now, and I'm going to show you what we're doing here, because that 30-second f8 ISO 100 was spot on. Now, it's like I've done it before. So yeah, I'm going to stop recording, I'm going to move the camera so you can see what the light passes are, and you can see the camera and how everything comes up. Okie dokie. Right, I'm going to try and do my best to talk you through everything I'm doing as I'm doing it. But right now, everything's set the way I want it to be set. So when I'm light painting a black car, there's a few things I'm looking to do. Initially, oh, there's lights going on. Initially, I'm just going to try and create an outline around the whole car. This then will help separate it from the background and will give us an idea. This is the first pass, so this will give us an idea as to what we're looking for, what's working and what's not working. I need to find a way to keep those lights on or off, because they're going to get in the way. Okay, so for a first pass, that's not too bad at all. And that has created the outline we want. The lights haven't caused too much of a problem, thankfully. Now, if you look across the roof, that has created a lovely, lovely kind of highlight across the roof there. So now we're just going to keep going, and we're going to start lighting up panels, panel by panel, ever so slightly differently, and I'm going to do my best to talk you through it as I'm doing it. So this time now I'm going to look at lighting up the front, and I'm going to look at lighting up these details in the grille. Try and catch that S badge there, any body lines, the mini badge. So that's the first thing I'm going to try and do. So we'll see how that comes out. I know what. I've just figured out what's making the lights come on and off. I've got the key in my pocket, so I'm going to put the key there. Nice and safe. Right, that one actually doesn't look too bad. That has come out pretty good. So that has lit up the front of the car very, very nicely. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep lighting up different sections of the car, bit by bit, until I've got a whole image that I'm quite happy with, happy to start looking at editing down the line. So let's have a look. Let's do the wheels. Let's have a look at doing the wheels. Now when I do the wheels, I like to come out. Oh, there's a bit of dirt there. Now, light painting black cars, I am looking to try and create some light streaks on the side of the car, especially when you've got something like this that is a very kind of smooth body. You want a nice gradient down the side to show that off. That may be where the diffuser might come in. Let's have a look at that. Right, that's done an all right job on the wheels and the plastic wheel arches. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep light painting this car and keep getting things pieced together. Now, this may look like I'm just waving a light around a bit hectically, but in reality, this whole thing is choreographed, I think is the right word. I'm every single light pass I'm going over the car with is purposeful. I'm not just moving this about for fun, although maybe in this car park to passers-by it might look like that, but I'm actually trying to shape the car and create almost like a little jigsaw in the camera. So afterwards, when it comes to editing, I've got essentially all the pieces I need to put this together. Now that pass has worked lovely. So that's created a nice shape and created a nice line on the side of the car there. So another little trick that I tell a lot of people about is if you're trying to create highlights, you need to point the light that way towards the camera. If you don't want to create light streaks, you need to point it away from the camera. Now, it took me a while to figure this out, and I can't remember where I saw the diagram that explained it, where it's essentially about pointing the light away and pointing the reflection away from the camera. And that if you want like a streaky light painting, then you point the light towards the camera. If you want a non-streaky one, you point it away. There we are. That's a bit more even now. Okay, so I think between what we've got there, obviously we've got the lights on, we've got a nice front there, nice side. I think I'm going to do one more around the back of the car to try and create another outline and to potentially light up around the floor a bit better as well. And then we will move on to trying this new technique, that new old technique I haven't done in a while, and we'll see how that comes out. But basically it's just using the diffuser. Okay, right, time for the experiment that we're going to try. I say experiment, it's an old new technique, so I have used this before and it did produce some quite good results. Now, how this will come out on black paint, I don't know. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these little pop-up circular diffusers and I'm going to put it in front of my light, and what that should do in theory is create like a softbox almost. So we're going to pop this up and we're going to see how that looks. So let's have a look. I think to anyone passing by now I'm about to look really, really silly, but basically my thinking is this should create a bit of a softer light on the side of the car, and I'm not gonna lie, this is actually really difficult because this thing is too big. So let's have a look how that comes out. Well, that's definitely not an ideal situation. I may have to pop it down a little bit more to see how to make it a bit more manageable, but that has created an interesting look to that image. So let's have a look at that. It's definitely a softer light, which is a bit more appealing to look at.
I quite like that actually. When you look at how the car looks, I'll do that again. Let's have a look. That's a very interesting look.
Okay, so let's do the front of the car on its own this time, so I'm not fighting the wind with this diffuser too much. But I definitely need to get like a stand or something for it. Let's do the front of the car a little bit more. That is definitely a much more softer, a bit more appealing light. So let's have a look how that comes out. Yeah, but this is just an old technique I used to do with a lot of my other shoots, and I don't know why I stopped really. I didn't wasn't intentional. I think I just put it away one day and then it never came back out. But that is a lot more appealing to look at. Like if you like a soft light, that is actually quite a nice way to do it. So I think what I'll do I'll go around the car a couple more times just to do all the passes again and make it even. But what I'll do when it's done, I will put a comparison on screen of basically the soft light and the hard light, and I'll let you guys be the judge what you think looks better. But I got a feeling the softer light may end up looking a bit better for various reasons, or at least look a bit more kind of the look I'd like on my photos, or it'd look a bit more like the look I'm going for. Now I know what some of you are saying, if I had a stand or something this would be a lot easier, and you are right. So maybe next time I do this I'll have a look at getting a stand. But yeah, that soft light is very nice. And I know it's essentially just doing what a diffuser a photography light would do, but I'm going to do one more and then we'll move on to a different angle and round this video up a little bit. Let's do that. Yeah, I need to get like either a more solid diffuser or find a better way to do this. Especially if I want to do this more again, because this is a very satisfying look to those photos. It's a bit more kind of natural looking, which sometimes I like on my photos, sometimes I don't. But yeah, what I'll do, I will put a side by side of the raw images and I'll put a side by side of the finished image, and you tell me in the comments what you think looks better. That is how I light paint a black car in the dark, and I spoke in a previous video about when I find locations and stuff, but I'll do a separate video on how to find locations to light paint with. But yeah, the main take from this video is that's how I light paint black cars, and you can see the difference between using a hard light and a soft light. Now with the diffuser you can see it's obviously a lot smoother and has a better nice kind of light fall on it in terms of the gradients, but it's a lot softer. But when you're using it without the diffuser, it's a lot more aggressive and a lot harsher, and that may suit the Mini, it might not. We'll have a look in post and we'll see. But yeah, I'll probably mix both, and I'll use both when I put the edits together, and maybe like diffuser for the front and the kind of outline of the car, and then maybe use the harsher lights for the wheels and things. And to me, this is the kind of things that separate your average light painters from the professional light painters. It's kind of going in with a decision and knowing if you want soft light or harsh light. That's why I picked up that diffuser, is because I knew with this car I probably need a bit of a softer light. And yeah, it's about making deliberate choices about how soft you want the lights, and it's not about buying more lights. It's about knowing what you want to do and making a decision before you get to the shoot. And yeah, that to me is what separates a pro from an amateur. So yeah, just remember with black cars that they need contrast. You don't want to be getting too close to them and scorching the panels. You just want a nice kind of skim across the top. At least that's how I do it anyway. But maybe next time you're out shooting, give that a go and just see how it goes. But definitely experiment, definitely keep trying and try different settings and try different locations. But just the main thing is to keep experimenting and keep trying these different things. And yeah, lock in your composition first, lock in your settings first, and then start messing about with the light and the angles and see what works best. But yeah, definitely keep experimenting, and experiment even with stuff you forgot existed. Like I just did tonight, I forgot I had that diffuser, and then I was like, hang on a minute, I need a softer light for this, and I know I've got that. So yeah, don't be afraid to try new things, try old things, and yeah, just keep experimenting, because that's how you improve. Definitely let me know in the comments which one you think looks best, the softer light or the harsher light. Let me know what you want to see in the next episode. I'll keep making these videos. Maybe we'll talk about CPLs, maybe we'll talk about reflections, or maybe I'll even give you a tips on what angles will really make these cars pop. But yeah, see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, appreciate you watching the video to the end. Thank you very much.